The video you're about to see is a clip from our exclusive bonus Patreon podcast, Volume 1 Extra. In this video, you'll get to see us react to the recently released Hell's Paradis anime trailer, the Attack on Titan Season 4 Part 2 second trailer, and the new My Hero Academia trailer. But to get access to the full episode where we share our spoiler thoughts on Spider-Man No Way Home, all you gotta do is become a Patreon member by going to patreon.com/volume1pod or by becoming a YouTube member and clicking join on this video. And if you do, not only will you get access to this episode in its entirety, but you'll also get access to our entire backlog of Patreon exclusive bonus podcasts, plus early access to all of our videos. So if you like what you see, consider becoming a Patreon member or a YouTube member for just $3 to $5, depending on where you join. But enough with all that. We hope you enjoy the video, and we hope you're having or had a happy holidays. Before we pull up the first trailer, what I want to react to first is the Hell's Paradis trailer. Now, most people watching and listening know that Hell's Paradis was one of the first volume duns, as we call them, that we did on our channel outside of Chainsaw Man. And I think maybe there was one more, but Hell's Paradis was
the first one.
Oyasumi Poon Poon.
Oyasumi.
Was that before or after Hell's Paradis?
That might have been after.
It feels after.
Yeah. So it's something that we completed very early on in our channel's history. And it's
we definitely messed up with the pacing of how we tackle this.
Yeah.
We learned a lot.
We were finding our bearings.
Yeah, we learned a lot.
We were finding our bearings. It is a series that comes from an assistant to Fujimoto. And that was definitely something that piqued our interest because of how much we all love Chainsaw Man. And so reading it, I think, was also a very different experience for all three of us. I think we all, I can comfortably say we all enjoyed it, but to what degree? I think it
we
varies.
all enjoyed the Bakugo guy and the it's just it felt like it took some it started branched off a little too much, and then when actually revealed what the story was about, then it was like, oh, it should have been about this the whole time.
Yeah. I think overall, like, the ending definitely redeemed it for me. Like, it left a good taste in my mouth of the series. I think, leading up to that point, I was like,
and it's the beginning, middle was the part that was like, and then like some parts were like, and now we're gonna explain the entire power system.
Yeah, rearing up to the end. Rearing up to the end was when it got like what the highlights for me.
Yeah,
I will say, as the story sits with me, it's a story that I do find myself like looking back on a little more fondly. Outside of the fact that the power systems did feel like they were explained a little too much, but looking back, I really did enjoy most of it.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it could have obviously benefited by being tightened up a little bit, but
yeah, no, we a lot. It did a lot of things. We're like, oh, cool, that's so great that like they're not even in a relationship.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting too. Like I'm like currently reading Ayashimon still, so it is like interesting to see like some of the things creeping back from Hell's Paradise. Where I'm like, like
really?
Just like little things here and there. I do like thoroughly enjoy it, but I could see how it could get there again with like the paragraphs of explanation and stuff. Like, I don't know. Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to think that the mangaka learned from the very few, but albeit mistakes or maybe missteps from Hell's Paradise. But overall, I think it was a great series that just could have benefited from being a little tighter.
That's why it's the trailer I'm the most interested in.
Yeah,
because
and Cody hasn't seen it yet. But me and Megan have.
It depends. Like, if they're gonna, a lot of animes, or a lot of the ones I'm aware of, elevate the medium.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them don't. So it's like, oh, if this is gonna we're gonna tighten up the story, that's all you have to do. That's really my only issue.
Yeah,
is it just felt like the author wanted to explore that world, when it kind of didn't need exploration.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I agree completely with that. I don't know if you know this, Cody, but if you do or don't, it is being adapted by Mappa.
That's the only thing I know. I saw a thumbnail. And then I was like, am I allowed to see this yet? I'm like,
another adaptation Mappa's taking on, though, which is, it seems like they have so much on their plate right now. Like, they're finishing Attack on Titan. They're starting Chainsaw Man. Like,
what it is?
Jujutsu.
They saw our Fujimoto verse playlist, and they're like, well, we have to do all of this.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, do people Volume 1 like Hell's Paradis? Well, I guess we'll do that too.
Which is why they're probably going to do Dan to Dan too.
They better freaking do Dan to Dan. If anything deserved an anime.
I heard it kind of like I don't know. From a lot of people I've heard,
been-
Dan's
it's
been
been-
kind of falling off.
I've been
a
hearing
little bit.
that, but I
Which
haven't
is
seen it for
sad.
myself yet.
I haven't
It's
seen it
so
for
sad.
myself either, but I'm like, please, God.
It'll
no.
be surprising because it's earned my faith up until this point.
Mhm.
That's where I'm. That's how I'm like, it already
Interesting.
earned my. Yeah, that's what it's. The criteria of like if you got my attention in the first volume, you kind of have my attention until you like what My Hero did over the course of like a couple of years before I was like, oh, I'm out completely.
Yeah.
Because it earned my attention up until that.
Yeah,
point.
it's just like, oh, I'll give you, I'll keep
Yeah.
going.
It'll
I'll
be
keep
like-
going for you. And
You
it
like
is-
you can
of-
afford some downward slopes because
Yeah.
I know what this can be.
Mhm.
And
So-
hopefully that's all it is with the end of the day. And it's just like a little, like I said, like a lull. And that they're going to course correct, and it's going to be something that in the next arc or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, who
Or my
knows?
heart will be broken, and I'll be like, I don't know why I bother enjoying this.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? We haven't read it ourselves. I mean, I definitely want to understand
up,
what
yeah.
people are talking about. And it is, I think, just with one specific character. So I'm interested how like one character can just like completely change people's
Because we were
perspective
like,
on
wow,
it.
every character's great. I can't.
Yeah.
And I guess like
'Cause we
maybe
read up
they
until-
they flew too close to the sun with characters.
We read up until I think we read a good amount of it, and it was like we stopped reading. I think right before this character
where
was
the
introduced.
grand world starts opening up
Yeah.
too, and like
Mhm.
it's like, oh, now things are gonna start getting addressed and tackled. So that's crazy if that's when it falls apart.
Mhm.
If it is just like one character's really annoying,
I can get past that.
yeah,
Yeah,
they've done more than enough to earn me following up on it.
Yeah,
but again, don't listen.
yeah.
Read it for yourself.
Yeah, read it for
you
yourself,
know?
and we need to read it for ourselves too. But back to Hell's Paradise, I'm excited. It's something that again, me and Mehgan have seen. Cody hasn't seen. So Cody, I'm really excited to see how you respond to it. It is Mappa, of course, the heavy hitters. Yeah. So I think without further ado, let me cue this up, and we will react to the trailer. The
You
Hell's
should have the
Paradise
phrase
trailer.
without further ado. Let's set up the queue.
I dropped the ball on that one.
Yeah, just in the future, you can edit out me telling you to do that.
All right, here we go. Hell's Paradise. Let's do it.
Should I act like a reactor? Those are flowers.
I can't remember if. Yeah, I don't think there's. Or maybe there is voice actor reveals.
Well, I really like the art.
It's great, right?
That's solid.
You talk about elevating.
Yeah.
I think it really does.
Best boy,
Hell yeah.
best girl.
I like Gabby Moore a lot.
Main
too.
character.
Me too. They're the best for me.
Yeah. Was that the blind guy?
Yeah, the blind guy and the little girl.
Ooh,
That's best girl too.
Oh, yeah, I remember her.
Yuzuhara or something.
I feel like there were
Hell's
supposed to be
Paradise.
voices in that trailer.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if there was voices
If-
or not.
It seems
but-
like it was supposed to end with him yelling something.
My
It's-
wife.
But
Oh, okay.
it does seem like there was supposed to be voice actors revealed in that as well, because the mouths are moving, but there's no sound. So
I really like the direction they're taking, especially if they're going, they're not going the action music route, but sort of the dramatic traditional music.
yeah,
That looks like it's going to elevate it. So the only issue is like, okay, but so I don't know what their pacing is going to be.
yeah. I mean, I gotta say, I was really, really excited after seeing the trailer. Like, I really think this anime has a lot of potential. The world does. It seems like it's being adapted and animated like really well. The colors, I love seeing the colors because obviously when you're reading it in a manga, you don't get all those colorful scenery, and it is like a lot of like floral and a
Yeah.
lot of like old temples.
Didn't even hit my mind
right?
that world is supposed to be extremely
Right?
colorful.
It obviously is there in your head, but you don't really think about
You're
it.
just like, there's flowers everywhere. Okay.
Yeah.
There's like flowers have famously
Famously,
a lot of
exclusively.
color. Yeah, nature is very that looks like one of the most colorful things I've seen too. Very saturated in like a good way.
Yeah, in a great way.
I like some saturation in my colors.
I'm really excited after seeing it again, and without repeating ourselves too much, but it is just something that I think if they really tighten it up is going to be an anime that I really look forward to, and will probably be an anime that I will recommend to a lot of people, possibly over the manga.
Well, and that, especially over the manga, but like, and like the reason, one of the praise we gave it is like it's not, you know, it's not like, oh, they fall in love with that person, and it's sort of like, oh, that's just, these people just like work together, and there's like a very nice relationships,
and the really cool, yeah, exactly, and the teams and the cool character designs, like I mean the main, I forgot their name, the people that lived on the island, forget their name, the like gods or whatever the hell,
the flower folk,
yeah, they're cool. Like seeing them animated is gonna be cool. Those fights towards the end, like, are gonna be really, really intense.
I think Mappa is the perfect studio to adapt it. I just don't know how they're doing all of these series. I don't know like how huge this company is.
Just based on how games do it, like when a developer's like, oh, we're like gonna do this game and this game, they have teams. So they have an A team, they have a B team, they have a C team. So like Ubisoft has like a French studio, and it's like, oh, they're gonna do the sequel to this game. And so like they have all the resources, but not all the best staff. So it's like they kind of have a hierarchy of like, I assume Chainsaw Man's getting it. Like, if that's the case, they would get the A team, and then it's like, okay, and then this section's gonna do this anime, this section's gonna do this anime. That's just how
maybe
games
Chainsaw Man will get the A team, Jujutsu start to get the B team, and then Hell's Paradise will get the C team. Even though if this is what the C team is cranking out, then
well, that's the thing is like sometimes I'm speaking purely from video game experience. I have no idea how it works in anime studios, but sometimes the C team does better because they're not under as strict of like these rules, so they're able to be more creative.
Interesting.
Oh, not always, but sometimes it'll be like, oh yeah, if the A team did this, they would have had to hit like these notes that like they don't have to, so they can like take some risks, which doesn't always pay off either. But
yeah, I'm super excited for this anime. I think it's just based on the trailer alone, and granted, we still haven't even heard the voice actors yet. But I think based on animation alone, it's going to be something that I love and look forward to watching every single week.
And it'll be an easy recommend to people. I think it'll be a great one for, I haven't watched anime. Do you have any recommendations? Like, well, do you like action? Well, this is the question you have to ask first. You can't just recommend things that are good. Do you like action? Check out Hell's Paradise, because it's like, it's not going to be a lot of your conceptions of what animes are, too.
Yeah, and especially like you said, they're leaning more into that traditional side of it. It's beautiful. It's nice to look at. It's animated well. And on top of that, it seems like it doesn't follow a lot of those tropes. It's got good relationships, interesting characters, an interesting world, a mystery to the world too, and everything that's happening. Like, easy sell, I think, for people who haven't watched anime before. The Hell's Paradise trailer blew me away. I was way happier than I expected to be after seeing that.
Yeah, it kind of was like, maybe I've been too harsh on you.
Well, because we like genuinely liked it to a certain point. Like, there was things that we didn't like, but like seeing those characters again, it just gives you like, oh, I did like it.
I like
I like Gabby Mara.
I like that guy. I like the relationships the brothers had. I like that glasses guy, of course.
Yeah.
I think also too, it's like how we were consuming it at the time. We were working on the kinks in our system, and I think we were reading a lot more than recording back to back a lot. We were reading a lot more and recording a lot more. And so it did feel like something that like maybe we like overexhausted or exerted ourselves.
Yeah, because now the system is like, we'll do this chunk and then we're going to take a break before we can.
But we powered through all of that. And I remember there would be nights where I would just be like, oh my God, like this power system, this, explanation, this graph.
Yeah, we also had less days to record too. So it was like, okay, well, these 2 days we're going to record. And also we need a save. So we're going to record 6 episodes back to back. And then we'll meet up again tomorrow.
I got 4 more.
I know. And it is such a special feeling too to see like a manga be adapted. Kind of feels like, oh, I saw this version of it. Now I'm going to see this version of it, versus just seeing like anime only. Where you're like, oh, that looks really cool. I'm super into that. But already knowing like the context of all these things, already knowing how the story ends, you're like, wow, I'm so curious, like so intrigued at how they're going to adapt this.
Yeah, that is the thing that hits every now and then, where it's just like, it's only been 2 years, but it's like there's so many things that go from like, oh, this just came out and it's getting an anime. And we were one of the first people to talk about it.
Which is what's interesting about all of this is like accidentally through covering manga, because, we obviously at the time had our reasons for wanting to cover manga, because it felt like there were so many other people talking about anime and not enough people talking about manga, that now what we've kind of inadvertently or accidentally done is created a backlog of almost like we've almost given ourselves like the credibility to speak on even more confidently these anime adaptations that are being released. Like we've been on YouTube long enough for like those manga that we first started covering to start to be adapted into anime.
We should probably get a playlist going of just stuff that's been adapted.
Mm-hmm. Like we've covered a lot of things like as an anime announcement got announced, or an anime adaptation got announced, or right as it premiered or debuted. But most of these things, like with Chainsaw Man, Hell's Paradise, Spy, there's just so many that are starting, and I think that there's going to be obviously more to come. And so yeah, it's a strange feeling, but it's a cool feeling.
Yeah, because we were
there. Yeah. I'm excited. Let us know if you've seen it in the comments, and what you think about it, and if you're as excited as we all are. Let's go to the, what do you want to do? You want to do the second AOT trailer, or do you want to do the My Hero?
Let's do the second AOT. And
yeah, because I think the My Hero. I don't know how I feel about Attack on Titan.
Yeah, and by the way, since we recorded all the other Attack on Titan videos that we've recorded, I have caught up on the anime. I'm completely caught up. And it was funny. Cody came to record a couple weeks ago, and I had caught up, and I was asking him like, because it had been so long, I think I took a break at like the worst time to take a break. And when it came back, it was just so many politics and so many like people, and they like one person had this plan, but it wasn't their real plan. And then, I was just like, what is happening? And Cody walked me through everything. I got caught back up. And I think, especially after seeing, obviously this is going to be spoilers too for Attack on Titan if you haven't seen it, but especially after seeing sort of the Aaron's brother, the Beast Titan, what's his name again? Zeke. After seeing Zeke's backstory explained a little bit more.
Oh, the anime got to there.
Yeah. So again, spoilers for the second half of the final season.
I mean, even watching it like week to week,
or the first half of the final season. We're not gonna.
I was still confused.
We're not gonna spoil the ending of Attack on Titan. Not where the manga.
I'll do that eventually.
But yeah, even with you, Mehgan, you were like, I was looking at Mehgan at first, like, Mehgan, what's happening? And you were like, I have no idea.
I was like, because even rewatching it, I was like, okay, I was trying to remember, and also watching it, I was like, huh?
Well, that's how it felt reading the manga.
Yeah,
like that's that experience. They adapted that too.
Yeah. What do you mean?
What's
happening?
Did you pick the right one? Are we watching Attack on Titan?
Yeah. It got as far as what an awful place. I mean, I guess for to like keep people wanting to come back or keep people interested in the second half, like it is kind of a perfect place to end. But like, what a frustrating, I should say, place to end. It ended like right as Reiner and Eren are like they're like literally running at each other. And
God,
and they're about to fight this because they have infiltrated the island, and the other Titan had already revealed herself to be there, and she kind of tricked Eren.
Poco.
Not
Poco.
The enemy is there.
The Cart Titan.
Cart Titan.
The Cart Titan.
Oh yeah, that. Oh yeah, okay.
So
the story goes from like it kind of explodes in what's happening.
It feels like
I only stopped liking it right at the tail end. Everything else was like a mind-blowing story.
Because there was that cool moment with like her and Gabby, and the Cart Titan and Gabby's like being taken prisoner for what happened to like Falco and Sasha's parents and everything like that.
Which I'm like, yeah, I hate.
Yeah. A lot of people hate Gabby.
I mean, she's horrible.
Never. That was like, I was reading them like as they came out, and like people were posting them and stuff, and it was just like, yeah, this is an awful. Everyone's like, we know what this is supposed to be, and we hate it.
Yeah, I get it. She sucks. But so she's lying. The Cart Titan is like lying to her and telling her like, look, we got to work with Eren, like blah blah blah, and she gives like a really good reason, and then they go up to the roof, and then she's like, just kidding, fuck Eren, and then the other Titan comes from like underneath. And then Eren's able to dodge it, but then right as that happens, like Reiner's coming up to him, and they're about to literally throw hands, and then it's just like for part 2. Wait till part 2.
I think you're going to be upset, like leaving on a hanger like that, because I like how that plays out, but that's like not having to wait a year in between, and not having a build up to it, right?
Yeah.
In the manga, it was like, and then they fight. It's not like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah. Well, it's even, I mean, closer for you now than it is when I finished it.
Thank God.
I was like, That's a part of the reason why too waiting. Like I'm just gonna catch up on the last part before this comes out. And then it's just like, oh, next month I know I can get it.
Yeah.
That logic is why I went straight to the manga. I'm like, I don't want to wait. I want to just find out what happened. Oh, I can?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A year ahead of time?
Yeah. It is a season that I think I really, really, really enjoyed having like completed it. Like I really, really enjoyed it. I really loved seeing Zeke's backstory, and that whole episode was maybe my favorite. Obviously the revelations that Eren gives to Mikasa and Armin and stuff like that.
Yeah, that scene was crazy.
Was there an ice cream scene?
Don't think so.
Okay, then you have not seen everything then.
Really?
There's actually a whole background that they have not even talked about yet.
Interesting.
There was a time gap in the story that they don't dwell on.
Ice cream?
I don't recall.
You mean
any.
Annie the popsicle?
Oh, you got her. Annie, the popsicle.
No, I got it.
No, as someone who's an Attack on Titan, like, really big fan of it, I just want to make sure you got it. Okay, let's watch this trailer. Did you see the first trailer? Did you guys see the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I think this one shows more, and it has a lot of the first in it, but it has some new stuff too.
This is kind of like watching a ghost of a friend I used to like until they betrayed me right at the end.
Wow, that hurts. That sucks. Okay,
I'm like, I used to love you.
Let's see what happens.
Took his glasses off for some reason.
俺はもう終わりにしたい。なぜあがく。お前は何のために戦っている。何のために。
I mean, it's
俺
satisfying.
がこの世に生まれたからだ。
始祖の巨人と王家の血を引く巨人が揃った。
エレンとジークを接触させてはなりません。手を貸すということは安楽死計画を実現させるということだぞ。
歴史が変わる瞬間はもう間もなくです。ミカサはどうしたい？エレンを助けたいの？悪魔なんていなかった。この島にも人がいる。
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah, we
I
saw
don't like that at all.
You saw what happened to him?
I don't like no.
No. We saw that in the first trailer. No.
俺をここまで導いたのはお前なのか。
Oh, yeah, that's a holy shit moment.
That's Historia.
Was that Historia? I don't know.
俺がこの世を終わらせてやる。それに力を貸せ。もういい。これ以上苦しまなくていい。
Oh, they're showing a lot of it.
Yeah.
Huh?
進み続けるんだ。死んでも死んだ後も。
Might be a little showing a little too much.
But, yeah.
生まれた時から俺のままだ。
Definitely, we could probably reliably react to every episode in this new season.
Whoa.
Like, I could put like a number of like it, but it is like probably every episode, especially as it goes on. There's so many reveals and stuff that's like
More reveals.
and it gets so much darker.
I would love for us to try again. I mean, people again watching and listening probably already know our history with it, but I would love to try again and to react to the first trailer or the first episode from the second half.
Yeah, we can do a reaction to the ending too. That's definitely going to be a huge thing.
Oh, and the ending
are
for
going to start
sure.
doing. And we can talk about all of our feelings on it. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. I don't think everyone hates it. Yeah, some people like it. It's not terrible. You just, I will.
I can't wait, and we're gonna be there this year, though. Like the whole world's gonna be there this year, hopefully.
Yeah.
And they might again. There's rumors that they might change things. There's rumors that they might tweak things.
Change it.
So I'm excited, and I think that if you guys are down, which it sounds like you're down, Cody, I'm down. Are you down to do a reaction to the first episode? And I'm down to do more. I'm down to do multiple.
Yeah,
I'm down to make a series out of it.
No, yeah, it's like again, we're monetizing our hobbies, so it's like
Might as well go all in.
yeah,
You know. I'm excited. We saw a lot of that. We saw that Levi stuff in the first trailer. We don't know what happens to him yet, but
no.
Cody, what you're saying excites the shit out of me, dude, because you're saying that almost confidently you can say that every episode is going to be action packed.
There was each issue takes like it's a month apart, which I'm not complaining that they're allowed to take their time and everything, but it was like there was a period where it was like, oh, Jesus Christ! What the
heck?
heck? What
For every chapter?
Yes. And then there became a section where it was like clearly dragging on, and then it was like, and now for the ending. I was like, what?
Yeah.
But there was this like amazing hype period that was I'll never feel again because now I've learned how it can break.
Was
my heart.
that Historia that we saw there?
I'm not going to talk about it. Watch and find out.
Wow. I'm excited. Mehgan, you're excited?
Because it couldn't be.
Who knows? Maybe there's another.
Historia's kid.
Oh, it could be Historia's kid.
Because she was pregnant.
Because
That's
a huge plot line.
I just don't know how much time has passed between her being pregnant. Because when we watched, it was her pregnant. That guy, the MP was talking shit on her getting knocked up. So I don't know if that's her kid. I am assuming that it is because that would make sense because she is of royal bloodline, and that was the whole point of her having a kid in the first place, is to take the founding titan again. So I'm pretty sure that's what it is, huh?
Cody's not going to speak on it, and I respect it.
Watch and find out.
I don't know.
I said too much by saying anything happens to Levi, which it doesn't.
Which that
Well, I mean, that is a huge spoiler.
Oh, it got too in depth. But did the anime get to the shot of Eren with like his abs showing while he's like putting his jacket on?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
Of course they did. That's the best part.
Classic shot.
Classic shot,
I'm
classic
excited.
character, classic motivations,
Classic abs.
classic abs.
Yeah. I'm excited. I can't wait.
Who are you, Mikasa?
Let's check out. I mean, we're
I
all
can't do
kind of, I
it.
think, speaking of being checked out, we're all a little, I think, checked out on My Hero right now.
My hero.
But there's a new trailer that came out.
You can skip
and
this.
So
It's
we
like
will check it out.
looking at like it's like a childhood thing. It's like I don't hate you for what you've become. Like I only wish to see you grow and succeed. But
Not me.
I look fondly on those memories. Of being
I still
a
look
My
back
Hero.
fondly on My Hero.
My
yeah.
Hero being
It's
My
not, it
Hero.
hasn't been, yeah.
First 2 seasons, but also it's like I then started reading the spin-off that I'm still seeing continually do it better.
Mhm.
That like I also have it. I have its younger sibling to compare it to. That I'm like, why couldn't you be
Yeah,
like your
no.
brother? Yeah.
Yeah.
I look back on My Hero fondly still. It hasn't been ruined for me yet because I think I did just drop it. So
yeah.
it never got, you kept going. So it never really got that bad. I never saw it get that
and
bad.
I maybe got an inkling of what it was
Yeah, I
becoming,
started to
and
get
then
an
I
inkling,
was
yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna let this live in my memory.
Because I was reading it. I was reading it way past the anime. And I got to a point where I was like, okay.
Yeah, it became a curiosity thing. I'm like, okay, well, the next issue will take care of this. And I'm like, you've betrayed me, my hero.
And look, again, I it still holds a special place in my heart. But
It was one of the big ones that got me into anime.
let's see.
It's dead to me now.
決戦が近づいていた。ヴィラン、死柄木弔を筆頭とする頂上解放戦線とヒーロ
I
ー
feel
と
like
して
the
の全
same
面戦
story has
争
been going on.
Oh yeah, that
So
shot
long.
is where I found out about Chainsaw Man.
Oh yeah, they changed
But they
it.
edited him out.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, wow, that's insulting.
Of
to me
course
on a
they
deep
had
level.
to.
Well, yeah.
観念しろ悪魔の手先よ
Now, did they reveal the doctor?
Yeah, I got to the place in the manga where they revealed it. But
僕の
not who
ヒーロ
he
ーア
is,
カデ
though.
ミア
Just that there's a
2022 年
doctor?
秋
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well, from where I got.
See, even not even
was
understanding
it?
what is
Yeah.
to
Oh, no,
come,
looks like, what? Is there more?
it doesn't. I don't think it would excite. Like, what did they show that was new?
Well, the heroes are. We're gonna
Teaming
finish
up to fight the
threat.
villains.
This is
Oh, just like every other fucking season of My Hero. Got it.
Yeah, there's
literally like
yeah.
what?
it, and like the big fight that this season's probably gonna end on. It ends on a reveal that everyone's like, yeah, we knew that. So like,
Is that who the doctor is?
that one was a surprise, but I don't want to hint at it too much because I don't know if you already. Yeah. But there's a reveal with a character that everyone's like, yeah, of course. But
Oh, I think I know.
so
Yeah.
you are like, wow,
You know too. You know too.
all of that for, and it's like if the season's gonna end on it because that's the big climactic fight, and you're like,
Yeah,
I guess they'll.
off screen. I'll give Mehgan this is gonna be the first letter of this character's name. Okay. There's a big reveal with this character, right, Cody?
What the
What the hell is that?
What kind of letter is that? Because I know what character, and I still can't figure out.
What the letter is?
Are you doing another jutsu or what?
No, I'm not doing a jutsu. Okay.
Can you? Do you have a
yeah,
pen?
I'll write it down.
Write
Yeah,
it down.
just
That
write it
was
down.
very
That was the
odd.
least helpful
Yeah.
thing I've ever seen.
I thought, Cody, is it this character here? Is it?
Oh wait,
Oh.
I think I know what it is. Hold on, let me write it.
Is it-
Keep it
oh,
on
okay,
you. Keep it on
okay.
you. Keep it on you.
Keep it on me. Keep it on
Yeah.
me. Keep it on me.
Yeah, that's that weird feeling because I'm like, oh, I found out about Chainsaw Man because I was like still invested enough in My Hero to check this out. Like this panel actually, that specific page actually meant something to me,
I think
and it's
I
gone.
think that this is the reveal, and we're just passing notes around.
Really?
But I think this is the reveal.
You can say it.
I can say it
Yeah.
Because
Yes or no?
Because people, I don't care, but people haven't heard enough or seen enough to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why though?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's how it felt when you're like, what? Of course, yeah. Like everyone, who didn't figure this out?
Yeah, that's what that's been something that I thought was like already known to be true for like a
So
long
much so
time.
it wasn't even a theory anymore. People just accepted it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a fan
Theory,
theory.
only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, and then they were revealing like, well, yeah, what else would that have been?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably going to be the climax of the season. That's why it's like, who's going to be that's kind of the start of it. That was the start of the feeling of like, what? That's what it all ended. Now the scenes with Rumi, were the bunny girl,
Oh.
who gets a prominent role in the Vigilante spinoff, and you see
Right.
her when she was in high school, and then her hero shenanigans. And she's very fun, and she gets a lot of like hype moments in the season where you see like the way she fights, and it is like she's like a crazy person.
Mhm.
And then in the Vigilante spinoff, she like puts a disguise on. She like wears a mask. It's like no one knows it's me, and everyone's like, we can see your bunny ears. Like we know who you are, but it's like she's a vigilante kind of, so she has to like keep her superhero identity a secret. So she has a sub identity for when she does vigilante stuff. But everyone's like, it's clearly you.
Yeah.
It was a funny bit. I like it.
It's a funny bit, rabbit.
Oh. It does remind me
Bow, bow,
similarly,
bow,
and I
bow.
don't want to give too much away, but it does remind me that feeling of something that happened in Naruto too. There was something that happened in Naruto that was over the course of years, and it was like strung out because of all these filler for so long that people were like, when it was revealed that this thing was happening, this thing that everybody thought was happening was actually happening, people were like, yeah, well, no shit, dude. Like, no shit. But it's just because in the anime, it had just taken so long to get there.
I would say it's I've seen it in stories where it's like, oh, you kind of know, but then there's this different feeling where they pull it off just well enough to you're like, it's like satisfying that it's revealed, or you're like,
Finally.
of course, yeah, it's not like a twist. You could figure it out, and if you did, that's not how it came across in the manga. It came across more as like, yeah, no, we knew, dude.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like, yeah, I knew it.
Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. But yeah, I've asked Cody off mic kind of what happens going further into My Hero. Mehgan, I don't know if it's something that you just want to like leave where it's at. We won't talk about it now, just in case you're wondering. But just hearing where the direction it decides to go is also a little.
I just
just-
felt like he wrote himself into a corner because he had a cool idea, which I think he does a lot. He has a lot of cool ideas.
Mhm.
And then there was like, oh, the implications of those cool ideas. And I was like, how?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so funny that you say that because actually, what the Naruto mangaka
Kishimoto.
Kishimoto like said, I forgot what event he was at, but he like told the mangaka of My Hero like, oh yeah, no, for sure, this is gonna be super popular overseas. I can feel it. And I'm like, that was literally another like one of the it was Attack on Titan and My Hero that was like resurgence
Mhm.
of like anime in the West.
Mhm.
So it's just funny coming from Naruto, like one of the biggest
Yeah.
mainstream anime in the West. He was just like, oh yeah, no, I can feel this one. It's gonna be it's gonna be popular.
Yeah,
I mean,
you should have given him a few other warnings too.
I'll
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
the reason My Hero must be preserved is because of Rumi
And vigilantes.
and Vigilantes.
I don't know if I just don't know how like I don't know. I mean, like the characters that I do like in this series, like I don't know.
They don't get attention.
Yeah, I don't think they'll get attention, and I don't think it'll be a payoff for me to be willing to sit down and catch up. Like
Yeah.
I don't think they'll get enough.
The,
Like I think I got it right where I was like, this was cool. Like I don't know
I
how
don't-
much they can go from there. Like
I don't know if it's a spoiler, but basically it's like, you go in expecting like we're going to see the main character and this whole class
grow up.
grow and advance, and then there's like time skip 6 months time skip. Now I know how to do this, and you're like, well, you didn't You're supposed to let me see that. And then it's like time skip. Oh, I haven't seen any of these people do anything.
Or like just the other heroes.
Yeah.
Like, it's like Deku and like the other heroes are now being like shined on, and I'm like, that's not why I started the series.
Yeah. Bakugo wears a long sleeve shirt now. I'm like, oh.
And it's not like Demon Slayer where like those
To signal time has passed.
like the Hashira are what elevates
Yeah, for sure.
the series versus like those heroes that I don't really give a shit about are now being elevated where it's like I didn't ask for
But
that.
see,
They
that's
did
kind of, yeah.
Bakugo did reveal what his superhero name was. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Oh,
Baka?
oh, you told me.
Yeah.
You told me what it was. And
Ba-
I kind of liked it.
Is it Fire Punch or something?
Yes. No.
No, but it has to do with like explosions, or it's like a pun on.
Is it a spoiler to say his name?
No.
I don't think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Explodey?
Well, he has a a prefix to it of explosion murder god, but I don't think that counts. It's dynamite, like All Might. So dynamite.
That's pretty cool.
I think that's a good one.
Because he does love All Might. It's like a little homage to him. Like, that's cool. I like that a lot.
What is Sue's hero name?
Froppy.
Froppy.
Froppy, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's Froppy.
Is that her hero name though?
The spring hero, rainy season hero, Froppy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
Froppy.
Yeah, you know,
And Momo.
I love it. I don't love where it went necessarily, but it will always hold a special place in my heart. My hero.
It is. No, I remember it. It feels like I'm looking back on my like childhood days. I mean, I was in high school when I watched it.
Yeah.
I mean, not too long ago, but it was just like, damn, that was like a great time.
It's
Like,
funny what you
it
say
was
about
so fun.
how you compare it to Demon Slayer, Cody, because I know you never caught up, but like there is a point, and I've danced around it, and this is spoiler free too. But there's a point where like the focus shifts on. It almost did what My Hero did too, but I think it benefited.
It did.
Demon Slayer more
did.
than it like hurt My Hero. Because like Demon Slayer like focused on these three characters for a long time, and then that like final half of that first arc of that first season, the viewpoint shifts to an entirely different group of people, and those two characters that you started the show with like get kind of thrown to the wayside, and you start to realize like, oh my god, I love this show. And then now in season 2, like they've come back to be like a focal point, and like again, like one of them has come around. I've come around to a lot more, but the other one's Zenitsu. Like I'm still struggling to like come back to him. But when it shifts focus to these other characters, like yeah, it can benefit it. But I think in My Hero's case, like it did sort of hurt it because it wasn't shifting to the right characters.
Well, that was the problem. Is he would keep coming up, and it's a credit to the writer. He would keep coming up with very interesting characters. Just none of them were the main characters.
Yeah, it definitely felt like that. It was just like
Man,
that's
like,
why I kind of stopped, because it was like there's this magician guy.
oh,
and
that
this
was the gentle
little
criminal
girl,
arc, yeah.
and I was like, I don't care about these
And
guys.
you keep
Even
going like, well,
Lemillion-
they're gonna show up later.
yeah,
And then you're like,
I got to Lemillion, and then the other little girl, like that was cool, and that's where I just stopped because I just didn't, and I got mad too because of the same what we talked about. It's just like, why wasn't this like that? I was like, this could have been the whole this character like over
well,
this
especially because you're like, oh, well, why was Deku picked over that? Oh, because he cried.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
totally just left a bad taste in my mouth. I was like,
It does
come
make
on.
me agree with what Cody said too, which is just that like the only reason Lemillion had to get his powers taken away was because everybody reading too would have been like, okay, then why doesn't he have these powers? But now the readers can go like, oh, well, he can't because of this.
Yeah, and it was like the premise in the beginning is this is how he became the world's greatest hero. The insurers went $1 million. Everyone's like, there's no way Deku will ever be more powerful than that. So they just go, you're right. He won't be, and he's gone now.
Yeah.
And then they do another thing with him. Then I was like, what was the point of any of this? What was the point of me tuning in every week?
That's what made me like out.
Yeah.
I think that
I was
is-
like, I can't.
And it's like, it's not even a big deal.
Especially with my conflicting emotions on Deku as a character at that point anyway. I was like, I can't. I just don't.
It's a challenge though, and it's really how I feel for the mangaka, because you can see it happen in My Hero, just that week to week writing and that week to week like, with the pressure of writing and drawing and doing all this with the deadlines that you have. I mean, like
And
you
he's
can see
figuring-
it fall apart.
And
kinda.
like he's enjoying exploring the world. So it's like, it's just that, and I'm enjoying seeing the world explored more than I'm seeing the story that we had in mind at this point. I'm like, what am I?
The
can you go away,
transition-
Deku?
like if
The
this
transition
writer,
was not clean Like some stories you have a clear transition or like a clean transition of like, oh, this is going to be this type of story now. I just felt like it was like the next episode was like, boom, okay, we're doing this now. I'm like, huh?
It's because you can tell, like Cody, you said, the writer is a capable writer and he's got great ideas, great character designs. And if he just was given a little more time or had like more of a roadmap, then I think My Hero could have been an even better series because he's a capable writer and an amazing artist.
And that's the frustrating part about it. It's like, it's not even like I hate the writing. I like it. It's just that it feels like it's limited by the story that's supposed to happen.
Right.
As opposed to like the story that happens when it's being fun.
Mm-hmm.
It almost feels like as he's writing it, because there's like, when you talk about writing, there's like seeders and there's like planters or whatever. And seeders are people that fly by the seat of their pants. They let the story kind of, as they write it, they let it sort of happen as it's being written. And then there's planters who plant seeds.
And he's doing both.
And he seems like someone who like, he planted seeds and then
he had more fun writing by the seats. Yeah. And now he's like, oh no, the seeds.
Oh, I forgot about the seeds. I completely forgot about the seeds. I forgot to water them. And then let's do a whole volume where I just water these seeds that everybody forgot about.
Even though you all kind of watered it yourself in your heads. The story is pretty much already known.
Yeah. But it does feel like exactly like you said, he's being constrained by the story that now is supposed to happen, but now it's not necessarily the story that this story wants to be anymore. Like, yeah, it's a really interesting case study, I guess. Like all of it really is. Anyway, My Hero. We love you. We sometimes we hate you, but
you'll always be, well, not my hero, not anymore.
Oh, that's so sad. But you'll always be a hero
to someone.
Mm-hmm.
But now is the portion of the episode we're going to get into spoiler talk. This is going to be our spoiler talk on Spider-Man No Way Home.